What you mean you don't know Pana? She's dope. What you mean?
What you mean?
What you mean?
What you mean?
What is poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl DOPEaxXPANA, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to be showing you guys my first attempt at Bora braids. If you guys don't know who Bora is, she is a braider who literally goes viral for her super full boho braids, and it was only right that I teamed up with Ywigs for this collaboration because they are literally the best human hair bulk vendor that I have worked with. And so today I'm going to be using 3 packs of their loose deep wave bulk human hair in 20 inches, and this color is actually a blend of 4 and 30. I'm just showing you guys how each bundle comes and how full it is. Guys, I absolutely love this hair. This is definitely, like I said, one of the best human hair vendors. So we're going to be doing medium Bora braids on her, and typically for my full bohemian braids I add about 5 to 6 pieces. For these Bora braids, I'm going to be adding 7 to 10 pieces to each braid. So you guys are going to see that as I am doing her knotless, I'm going to be adding these pieces of hair in about a ½ inch apart. And I'm also going to go over some things that I'm going to be doing different in my next Bora install, and just some ways that you guys can get a really full and seamless style. For the braiding hair, I mixed the colors 4 and 30 from my own brand, the Dope Collection, and it created a seamless blend that matched perfectly with the human hair. The goal for the Bora braids is to get the hair super full, so you should barely be able to see any braids. It's almost like having a weave with the versatility of knotless box braids. You guys can see that I'm adding those pieces in about ½ inch apart. You guys honestly don't have to count how many pieces you put in. I would just keep adding ½ inch, ½ inch until I reach the bottom. And one thing that I noticed that Bora actually does that I didn't do in this video was add her curls to each side of the braid. So that's something that I'm gonna try for next time, just so that I can get this style to be even fuller than it was at the end. So the great thing about the Ywigs bulk human hair, guys, is that each bundle is super full. I love that about the brand. So typically I would use a bundle to a bundle and a half on a client and still get a full look. But for this extra full look, I'm using a total of 3 of the bundles. And yeah, like, you guys will see how bomb it looks. Another thing I love about it is that other times when I've used colored hair that is human hair, it almost has a synthetic feel to it, or sometimes it will lose its curl pattern, and this hair does not do either one of those. It's super soft, and when it's wet down it doesn't lose its curl pattern, and that's super important to me. This was actually my first time using the loose wave. I usually always use a deep wave, but I love the loose wave because it gives more of a natural type look. So I'm just showing you guys those back 3 rows completed. Remember, this is my medium size, but I did 3 rows in the back because the nape area of her head was a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna continue by doing 5 rows at the top, and my client requested a side part. So I'm going to give you guys a couple things that I would do different for my next install whenever I try this style again. Like I said, this was my first time, but I noticed areas where I can improve. Is that when I first start the braid, I would add a curly piece. I did it for some of the braids, but not for all of it. And you really want to make sure that it's full from the top to the bottom, meaning from literally the scalp to the bottom. If you don't add a piece in when you first start the braid, even before you put a piece of synthetic hair in, then it will definitely like leave it empty looking at the top. You guys can see the braids next to the ones I'm doing. I didn't add that piece in right at the top, and it just doesn't give it a super full look at the base, which is what we want. We want it to be full literally from top to bottom. Second, you guys can see that when I add my pieces in, I'm only adding the pieces into one side. I kind of mentioned that earlier, that I would add pieces into both sides, and I actually got that tip from Bora herself. And lastly, I would braid the human hair into the ends of the braids. Typically with my boho ends, I just use a rod curl, and I rod curl it. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about at the end of this video, but I would actually braid the human hair into the bottom of the braids. It's just going to give it more of a seamless look, and it's going to make sure that you pretty much can see no braids at all once the install is completed. It is a little bit more maintenance for my client, but like I said, I mean, it just kind of completes the look. Now, all of those things that I mentioned plus more are what make this style super tedious, so you want to make sure you are getting your coin for this style, okay? This style took me a total of 6 hours with an assistant. Doing boho hair is really hard with an assistant because unless they know how to feed in the boho pieces, it's really not much that they can do. But it still does cut off time to even just have a little bit of help with prepping or anything. So I did go ahead and complete this in 6 hours with an assistant, which I think is pretty impressive. I actually don't have this style on my site yet, but if I were to put it on, I would probably charge somewhere around $600 to $700, just because y'all, it's super tedious. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. You guys are like, oh my God, you did that so fast. How did you guys do this in 6 hours? And I am gonna give you guys some tips. Number one, if you don't have a parting grid, you need to stop braiding right now and make a parting grid. Anytime I do a medium, a medium, a large size, I do the same amount of rows on every single client. It helps with consistency, it helps with speed, and it helps with confidence because I know before approaching a style how I'm gonna approach it, how many rows I need to pre-part out, and it just makes me a lot more confident in what I'm doing. Number two, you want to make sure that all of your braiding hair is prepped, all of your human hair is prepped before your client arrives. That will really, really help save time. When I think about speed or think about doing anything fast, my first thought is how can I do this in the most efficient way? And the best way to do it is to prep everything before your client comes, so that as you're doing this style, you don't have to keep stopping to prep hair, because every time you do that, the time just adds up and adds up and adds up. Next, having a proper client consultation is gonna make approaching the style so much easier. It's gonna allow you to be quicker. At the time of booking, I ask my clients the style color, I ask them for an inspo pic, how full they want their boho, what length they want. That'll help me be better prepared when they get to the appointment, so that I'm not scrambling and prepping and trying to decide what it is that they want when they arrive. I love for my clients to come in, sit down, and I just get right to it. Hi, bye, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The less that I have to worry about, or the more uncertainty that I have approaching the style, it will help me be a lot quicker. Lastly is obviously working with an assistant. If you are at a point in your career where you're able to work with an assistant, I highly recommend it. Obviously, an assistant is gonna help me braid down. They're gonna help keep the salon floor clean. They're gonna help me with prepping any hair I need. They're gonna help my client with water, coffee, tea, whatever my client needs. It's just basically to make my job easier. And if you have a great assistant, it should be saving you guys time. You should be focusing on parting, precision in your braiding, and their braid down should be eating, okay? My assistants also dip my client's hair for me and just really do a lot of the finishing touches that don't involve like doing edges or anything like that. So get you a really great assistant if you guys are there in your business, and it will literally cut down time off your installs. That'll make it easier for you to service more people and just take a load off of your body, guys, because braiding or anybody standing for 8 hours, 8, 12, 10 hours a day is very strenuous on your body. And especially me right now, y'all, you know I'm pregnant, so I definitely need my assistants, and they are amazing at what they do. Now let's talk about price point and how you guys can purchase these bundles. As always, everything that I'm using is listed in the description section for you guys below. You guys can visit Ywigs site. They offer the bundles in the lanes 14 all the way up to 28 inches. Like I said, I'm using 3 bundles of the 20 inches. And guys, they have bundle deals, so obviously the more you buy, the better discount you get. If you buy 3 bundles altogether, I believe it's $170 right now, and they have a bunch of promo codes. Just make sure you guys check my description section. You guys can also check their website, and the hair is worth it. I know you guys are like, $170? Yes, baby. This is not hair that's gonna tangle after a couple weeks. I know a lot of people have this stigma about boho hair, but you guys definitely need to make sure that you're using quality hair. Just like anything else, the hair is definitely an investment, so you want to make sure that you are getting the best of the best. So I'm showing you guys here how I rod curled the ends of the braids. Like I said, you're not really going to be able to see them too much, and obviously Heaven is a hot girl. She's literally a baddie, so I'm going to be giving her some edges out with her style. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, is that Heaven Marina? Yes, guys, this is Heaven Marina from Baddies. This was actually my first time styling her hair and meeting her, and she is my Aries sis. So, you know, it was a vibe in there. I absolutely love her, and I thought she would be perfect for this style because Heaven just loves big hair. So today, y'all, we went for it, and she absolutely loved the way it turned out. I also think the 4 and 30 color really, really complements her skin. And so, y'all, we was just excited the whole appointment. But if you haven't already, make sure you guys follow her on Instagram at Heaven Marina. Like I said, she's on this new season of Baddies Caribbean. And yeah, she's gonna be on my channel a lot more. So with the dipping, I do go ahead and just pin up the ends of the curls. You guys can see my assistant cousin Mo. She's dipping the hair for me. We didn't go all the way up, but you can if you really want to. But we kind of just tapped the bottom of the braids where the curls are. And we were going for a loose curl, obviously, because the boho hair was a little bit more loose. So we're going to go through and make sure that we just get every single curl. We always check in and make sure that it mimics and matches the curl pattern. And then when we comb it out, you guys can see how well it blends. But we definitely missed some braids in there, so we're just going back and making sure that she gets all of the braids. But you guys can see how beautiful that is blending. But like I said, you will get more of a natural look if you actually braid the human hair into the end, so I am going to be doing that on my next install. For my last touch, I'm going to go in with the spray bottle using water only, guys. I don't recommend putting a ton of mousse in your boho braids because mousse often sometimes leaves behind a residue. I've been telling my clients to just use water and a leave-in conditioner, and you kind of just run your fingers through it, and if it's a good quality human hair like Ywigs, it's going to hold its curl pattern and it's going to tame it down just a little bit. Obviously, as it dries, it's going to fluff up just a bit, but I love that wet watered down look. You guys can see how amazing it looks, so I'm just going to go through and I'm gonna spray it down. You should not get shedding, guys, if you are braiding enough of the human hair. Like if you're braiding at least an inch inside of the braid, you guys should not get very much shedding. And you guys can also comb it out with a wide tooth comb. So now what you guys have all been waiting for, let's get into this finished look. Sis is a baddie, guys. It looks so bomb, so amazing. These are probably the most full boho braids that I have ever done, and I love the way that they turned out. If you guys are loving this style, make sure you guys drop red hearts in the comment section for me down below. And as always, all of the products that I use are listed in the description section down below for you guys to check out. If you guys have ever had Bora braids, have ever done Bora braids, or would ever want Bora braids, let me know down in the comment section down below how much you charge or how much you would pay for these, y'all. I'm feeling like $600 or $700 is worth it, but I know the girls be arguing about pricing, so I really want to know. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you guys in my next video. What you mean you don't know Pana? She's dope. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean?